What's up, guys? If you want to know how to get started making websites, then you're in the right place. In the video today, we'll be going through the core basics of HTML and then get the foundation for building websites. We'll be focusing on three key aspects. 1. What is HTML? 2. HTML syntax and anatomy. And 3. Elements and tags. In this regard, there will be no CSS, just the pretty basic stuff. Are you good to go? Then let's get started. Now to the very basics. First off, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is a well-known language of the World Wide Web. HTML is used to design web pages as it structures the content that forms the page layouts of a website and even an app. Let's use an analogy to further, realistically explain what HTML is like. Let's use the analogy of a building construction project. In a building, HTML can be likened to the building blocks, the blocks that are laid one on top of the other to form an entire building. That is what HTML is like, that pillar. Another analogy we can use to, realistically frame HTML is the human system in biology. In biology, HTML can be likened to the skeletal structure of the human system. Yes. So just like the human system analogy, the HTML structure is composed of two major parts, the head and the body. Every website has the section designated as the head of the website and then the body of the website. This takes us now to the HTML anatomy. The depiction on your screen right now represents the generic layout of an HTML web page. Like we said in the biology analogy, HTML is categorized into two major parts, which is the head section right here and then the body section. The head section contains information about the HTML document and some sort of metadata that search engines use to index or archive your website. Whatever you code into the head section or whatever data is in the head section of a website is not visible to the user or someone browsing your website. On the other hand, the body contains everything that is displayed on the web page as visible as can be to the user or someone browsing your website. So every content that is to be available for the user of your website is imputed into the body section of a website. Let's now turn our attention to the browser and get to see how a typical live website looks like. I mean, the HTML content of a live website. Which website do we use now as an instance? Do we use Facebook, CNN, or CBN? Anyways, let's use CNN website. Okay, CNN website has fully loaded, and as you can see, to get to check out the structure or the HTML content of this website, just right click on an empty space like this and click on inspect. What you see on this portion of the page represents HTML. This is all HTML. Okay, this is the HTML that structures the content you're seeing. The HTML that represents the content you're seeing right here on this website. Okay, all right. Okay, as an aside, let us modify content on this web page. Let us modify. Let's change this Trump. Let's change this name Trump to some other name. Okay, so change this name Trump to some other name. Try to locate where it is. Okay, that is the Trump right there. Let's change it to a different name. Should we change it to Buhari? No. Preferably, let's change it to this. Now, the Trump has been changed to Peter Obi showed classified Kim Jong-un letter to journalists. So this shows that the content on the website actually generically it's mostly HTML, okay, and you can edit it to whatever you want or choose it to be. I definitely believe by now you've installed your code editor or IDE, which is the integrated development environment we use in writing or spinning lines of code. Step 1, let's create a folder for our web page project. Go to my documents folder and create a new folder. Let's just call it maybe web design. Now web design is located in the documents folder. All right, you can close it now and go over to your code editor, VS Code in this case, and launch it. At first launch, this is what VS Code presents to you. Okay, now we're going to open that folder we just created for our first web project. Click on open folder and navigate to the documents folder and select the web design folder and click add. Click yes, and that imports the folder into your code environment right here. Now there are two icons that matters most in instances. The first icon represents the new file, to create a new file. The second icon represents to create a new folder. You can either create a new file or a new folder inside your web design folder. For now, let's get started with a new file. Click on new file and give it a name. Just give it your own name. In this case, select and end it with .html. All web pages have the extension .html. Much the same way Microsoft Word documents have the extension .doc or .docx. Microsoft Excel has the extension .xls, and PowerPoint files have the file extension .ppt. So for web pages, the extension is .html. All right, let's now create our first line of code. Protocols to be observed in this case is to firstly put the HTML anatomy in place, and that begins with the document type declaration. That's document type HTML. Then the HTML root element itself. We said HTML is comprised of two major parts, which are the head and the body. Okay, let's split them up. Inside the head, we have the title tag. Let's call the title of this web page my first web page. Then on the body, let's just type a most famous term in the coding world, which is hello world. After keying just this basic simple data or input, click save. Go to file and click save. All right, to preview this on our browser, what we've done so far, let's navigate to that folder where we stored our first web page. Remember, our project folder is located inside the documents folder. In our project folder, we labeled web design. Double click on it to open it, and this is the file we just created in our code environment. Double click on it for it to display on the browser, and here this is what we imputed in the body section of our code, hello world, and that is the only thing displayed to the user.